that he has.
I'll be right beside you.
Tryna get my attention, tryna get your redemption. But now that I'm gone, you want me back. Yeah, I gave you everything. Gave you a diamond ring to watch it fall from your hand. I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. And I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. You came back to me. I don't trick or treat. Don't knock on my door. Don't want you no more. You broke me, and I don't wanna see you. And I don't wanna see you again. No, just trying. Oh, don't deny the fact. The fact that there's never less to you. I played the game but lost the bet. I don't wanna love again. Yeah, I don't wanna love again. Cause I'll be living with regret.
Good evening everyone, welcome for the round number 2. We are in Zolder and it's raining! It's raining finally! Finally there's the rain! The best thing in this game! But anyway, welcome for Zolder, double header. And as double header it means there is going to be double the points available and double the starts and double the I have run out of double things. And anyway, it's the Pro IM, and it's completely blue because the Pro IM in the FRL community are tagged with a blue color. That's why they are all blue. No, okay, that was terrible. What to say about Zolder? Well, it's, in my opinion, the best track in the world, and no one can say otherwise. But we are here with currently 21 drivers. As Zolder went a bit of a rallycross session and a spin. Maybe I should change drivers. Oh no, don't. I will hate it. I'm not capable of doing it. I need a driver. Demon? Is he the the quickest? Okay, maybe I go here and I find out that it is not. It is the number 15, the one that will set the first lap. So anyway, what about Zolder? It's in the rain. It's going to be quite hard for all the drivers to maintain the speed and the pace. Currently number 15 and to number 5. It's a good time. I'm thinking about the wet, because in the wet it depends a lot, because Zolder is an old track, and I guess with the amount of rain there is now, which is, I think it's damp, no, it's wet, okay, never mind, it's wet, so 37, 36, maybe better, 36. 36 will be enough because in the dry it's 28. Usually you are 10 seconds slower, but Zolder is like 20 meters long. So being a very short track means that also the wet is less impacting on the lap times. So I guess we can see a 36, but obviously the wet, it's not like the dry where the condition is dry. Wet is a lot of variation, so I guess 36 will be enough, but we'll see with the first time lap. If I went too much, okay, definitely too much. 35 is going to be the lap, so apparently it's not that wet. It's not that much as I thought, because yeah, usually dump is 33, 34 at best. So it means that it actually, no, 42/33, depends on how dump it is. So now it means that the track is damp. literally I said it. The track is indeed damp. So that's why the times are so low. 45 for now. So damp track means and damp means as I said 44, around there, 43, 44. That's Ike Zerman in the KFC. I've just eaten. That's luckily I've just eaten, otherwise I would have went out to buy something for myself. But anyway, for in the KFC Audi, and he will be struggling a lot considering the Audi and the wet tarmac are not exactly friends, are more like enemies, mortal enemies. Some of the worst possible lineup you can have is an Audi and a wet track. Slander in the chat, always something that needs to be done. As currently the Audi is going quicker and possibly setting another pole lap. So this camera is quite useless. There was a yellow flag, I think it was also a yellow car. It was indeed Malatinovsky in the 15 BMW. The qualifying goes for no improvement for the Swedish driver, differently from currently Borsari, going very quickly. For now, 4th on track. Soon to be at least 3rd, and nothing more, considering the gap to 1st to 3rd is quite high. But anyway, former is he was winner in the last round, and currently not really having the best time, even because Zerman is kinda destroying the field, as a current improvement for Zerman is on the order of 6/10, so a 44 would appear, and he will just put half, but nearly all of the field a second behind. For now, Borsari is putting a possible pole up, but Zerman is just ahead on track. You can see the track on the... I need to move it a bit. No, okay, I may break something. I just hope it doesn't... Okay, no, it didn't break anything. For once. Whee! So here is the track. On the right side of the screen, just under the Sim Stuff QR code. So be sure to check it out to have the best advice in terms of sim racing. But anyway, the little orange dot is Zerman going for a 34.5, gapping Malitovsky by 8 tenths and Borsari by 1.1. So at this point, the man is just on a league of his own. And technically, I don't feel like he's a rookie. I still think that him being placed here is a wrong decision, but Borsari goes in second, just less than 4 tenths behind the Swedish driver, and the Italian is now in second place, gapping the number 15, the Ukrainian, in 5 tenths away. Robstra goes in 4th, a second off pole position, and I need to... Okay, I can't. Can I do it maybe from here? I'm hearing some gravel. I think it was Thompson. It was indeed Thompson going in the gravel. And I don't know if it was for... just because this attempt was over. Yeah, I'm doing the Lambo. Because I'm dumb. And I want to drive a car without a front aero. Without front aero at all. I have to lift off in Blashy Mount. I have to lift off in Blashy Mount. I don't even lift off in GT4s. Nearly. That car doesn't have front end. It doesn't have a front end. It just goes straight. That's it. But Super Trofeo apart. I was starting to speak in Italian. Super Trofeo apart. We are here with the GT3 for now. Don't think there will be any life for this Super Trofeo. Unless I got any support, because I'm driving, so I guess it's a bit difficult from my side. I can do a POV. That's something I may do if needed. But no official stream anyway. But there are still spots for you all if you want to join it, and it's quite funny because last time in Monza there were literally at the end in 5 seconds there were 4 cars, me included, because I took a penalty. But anyway, murder apart, because I effectively killed one of the drivers in the first chicane. Malatskovsky is going to put a bit of an improvement that just goes over the 5 temps, and it's not enough for improvement in position, definitely an improvement for his position. And for now Robstra is going 3 times quicker, and just in the first chicane. There are 2 chicanes here, the bootleg Monza. We need the Ferrari 85, black and blue. Very nice livery to be seen around, but for now it's just in 4th place. While Zerman just set a 34.3, nearly close to the 33. As Robstra is still improving a lot. Seems that the track is going absolutely on fire. Seems like for the improvement that is happening, Robstra is putting up an astonishing lap that would put him in 2nd place if it all goes not wrong. If it all goes right, and if nothing goes wrong. The chicane kinda went a bit oddly in exit, so I guess a bit too much of traction control there. And it's a 2nd place, as I mentioned, for... It wasn't a dive bomb. Okay, it was just me being a bit confident. Shut up. There are no live, no TV proof, so you can say anything. I was perfectly right. Anyway, my murder was legalized. It is dump. It was dump since Zerman put the first lap on his tire, so it's definitely dump. And I'm currently waiting to see if... Okay, no, I destroyed everything. The rain is going to stay like this, so I guess the rain and the dump truck is going to stay even in the race. Unless the rain amount changes drastically. I don't think so, considering the conditions are taken from real life, and real life apparently it was wet this afternoon, but not too much, which is a pity. Honestly, flooded the track would be neat. As Thompson goes in 5th, for 6 tenths away from 4th place. Apparently the first 4 are pretty much gapped away from everyone else. As there is James Williams, the 41 car, currently sitting in 20th place. Maybe making at least an improvement for managing to get into 19th. But I'm also very interested to see someone that is going to improve a lot. Seems like Williams is the first online to make a slight improvement, which will not be enough for an improvement in position, but it will be for... Never mind. Okay, it will be for Mark GG for in 13th place. Borsari is improving, but his track has been nullified for an off-track violation. Hence, no improvement will be done by the Italian. Karasanovic indeed does an improvement. 1.1 seconds away from pole, but enough for 5th place. The former front row starter in last week's race. 2nd place he was starting from. And for now there is also... So qualifying is nearly to the end. Whoever is in the pits will probably not set another time, because there is just not enough time, just 6 seconds, and they have to be already out of the pits by those 6 seconds. So everyone in the pits will stay in the pits. So Ongar in 8th, Majoli in 11th, Sauter in 16th, and Jabudal in 22nd will stay in their respective position. Thompson completes qualifying in 6th place. And tend to guess for an improvement. Seems that Ercolani may be one of the improvements. Oh, there is Smith. I didn't see him. There is Smith making an improvement and becoming the improvement. 8 tenths of a second, which will put him from 7th all the way into even 3rd, if everything goes smoothly enough with a beautiful retro livery, as Ercolani went in 7th. But Smith makes enough for 4th place, a tenth behind Borsari. And qualifying over for him too, as Robusta 2 went into the pits, so apparently not enough fuel to make another couple of laps. Trying to see if someone else is making improvements, and Stewart seems like making 1 for 10th, which will put him in 17th. There is also Ercolani with 3, Zerman making a possible new pole lap, and by any surprise he does so with 34.2, 5 tenths away from Robstra. True. Yeah, I will check, honestly. Everything over the 30, the 40s, alright. But anyway, by the way, you keep missing my name. Look at this. It's there is an E after the M, not an O. A E. E like in Elon Musk. I don't know. It's the first thing that came to my mind. Promise, I don't like him. For whoever thinks otherwise. Mihai seems to be making an improvement in the chicane, which will be enough for 9th place. Guess so, as Williams also crossed the line in 19th and Mihai goes in 10th. Top 10 qualifying, and Borsari seems like the only one to make an improvement and in the off track. So no one will improve. And as I said it, obviously, I should learn. Okay, I should learn to not say anything. The CH is effectively my name. CH, my Christian goes with CH in my name because I'm the original name. Whoever doesn't put the H after the C is just wrong. 3 minutes to go. and I wanted to put some. Okay, now it's the time where I struggle with my abilities with ACCTV and such. I think I will go with the nationality and the position delta for now. No, just the position delta, because otherwise it just occupies too much of the screen. And I guess, but I wanted to go with a little track drone lap, but obviously, guess who forgot to set the controller? Okay, I'm just breaking stuff at this point, so I don't think it's really worth it, but with 2 minutes to go, this track is just absolutely phenomenal. It gives you literally everything that you need. Okay, so easy. What a mess. Too much crisis. We are starting to count things in crisis per second, I don't know. Anyway, we can go with, I think, possible. No, okay, I'll just break everything. So I really wanted to, but I really think that it will just be a bit of a stretch because I need to just edit a couple of things, and I don't really fancy doing it. This qualifying session was entirely good, with Zerman just putting himself in first, with Valentinovski setting the very last attempt at the very last second in second place, but I don't think Zerman will have any real trouble making it to first place again. There is double header, so 30 minutes and 30 minutes of racing, 2 races, so all the time in this world to make improvements, to make positions, and here you can't really be calm. You need to be quick on deciding whether you want to go for the pass or not. How many seconds are remaining? So I guess we can go with the leader with a bit of a track walk, track map, track whatever. Choose how you want to call it. But the first turn is going to be okay, it's turn 6. I have to remember not to say it, because otherwise I start busting out loud. But the first turn is going to be obviously. Why are you doing it? Okay, first turn is going to be Ursa Lynx. Obviously, they are all in Belgium, so I will just say them wrong completely. First turn, it's Ursa Lynx, which is a left-hander that gives you a lot of space on the right of the track, but in this case the astroturf is wet, so I don't really advise you to go there for your overtakes, but in the dry it's entirely possible, because Stern backblocked turn number 2 is a right-hander, and that's why number 1 going on the outside is good, because turn 2 and turn 3 and turn 4 are all right-hander. Stern backblocked, Canal blocked, and Lucien Barty blocked are all right-hander. Here you need to brake right around there, where the asphalt ends in the dry. In the wet is obviously way earlier. And then here on the outside is quite frequently to see some cars going on the gravel, slowing massively and getting overtaken before Klein chicane. In this case, obviously, I don't think we'll see many going to the gravel because, well, track is wet and you don't want to go to the curb on the outside, especially there, because the wall is very close. You brake around there where the wall starts to become red and white. These are all obviously in the dry. In the wet it's earlier, but I can't really know how much earlier. Then there is turn number 6, which is butt. And then you brake there where the grass is kinda burnt out into Gilles Villeneuve chicane. You try to cut as much as possible, but not too much, otherwise it is a track limit violation. Then turn number blocked, turn number 8, another right-hander, this one here, and you try to go to the grass because you can do it in dry, obviously. Even in the wet, to be honest, it's not entirely bad. The problem is that you heard it, there is some standing water, and you can fly off into the barrier. You brake on just before the Pirelli marker into Boulder Backfield boxed, and then Jochen Reed boxed, which is this little chicane, a little bit of standing water on the very inside, and then you get into turn 11, which is the final chicane, Jackie X boxed, and then the finish line, start-finish line. And this was your little track guide provided by myself, which I'm not entirely reliable, but that's what you got, I guess. I wonder if Malatkowski went a bit too much to the front. I guess he went. Luca Borsari a bit too much behind. I think there has been a bit of misplacement by one of the drivers, either Robstra or Borsari, or even the Aston Martin of Smith. Oh, this is contact! Speaking of Smith, and there is already an overtake for the lead as German is in second place, and then Smith going a bit too much on the inside. I think he went over the curb and lost traction of the car, and consequentially lost several positions from his starting position. I got the track on track contact, and he fell into 12th, maybe 13th place. Meanwhile, up ahead, there is German 1.3 away, already from the leader. Seems like a terrible start from the Audi driver. Ilke German not really having the best start of his life. Quite actually, probably the worst possible, while Gianmarco Silvestri on the inside is trying to move on Mihai, but can't happen, won't happen, at least for now. And Borsari is now very close to Robbie Robstra. You can see on the outside trying to make the position. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen for now, and neither does a position from behind happen. A position change. While Smith is now in 13th place. Terrible start from the British driver for all the wrong reasons. Obviously there is still another race while yellow flags are shown behind. We'll see what happened later on as things get a bit more calm. There was definitely a contact between a couple of cars, 978 and 531. Another freeway incident, and this time it has been in the hairpin, a major incident even. This one is going to be seen instantly. Who may miss the breakpoint? It was Smith missing the breakpoint, and it was also Mihai getting spun just after then. But anyway, for now it's already... Oh, it's Yabuk going for a drive-through for Stars... I can't speak anymore. You understood. Misplacement on the starting grid. I made it. As Mihai gets overtaken by Williams in the BMW. So we have our first drive-through, and it was Siabuk starting very much ahead in 9 places up ahead. Now he is all the way down into last place after the drive-through. There's also a little overtake by Nuno Gomez for position number 18, because Mihai went a lot of position down the standings. But I want to see back the incident that has happened between the 978, which is Nuno Gomez himself, and the 531. Just after this chicane is over, we can see now what happened exactly. You can see there was, I think it was a McLaren there, not inside, it was Jabudal on the inside, and the Porsche was spun, and also Jabudal went. It was a Porsche behind him making contact, and then the Porsche just went into the wall. Just saw the action briefly. I wasn't expecting the Porsche going full into the wall. For now, the situation seems to be quite calm. The German still struggling a lot with the race start. Either he went for a bit of a precautionary move and used dump pressures because the track is dump already. German gained 3 times in this lap, but the lap wasn't validated because of track limit violations, as the Ferrari on the inside can't really make a move on Zolder on the outside, and the Lexus is in 10th place. Chris Zolder in the purple and purple, effectively purple and pink Lexus. Oh, a bit too much wide there. The wet track is not forgiving, and in fact the Ferrari goes back into the inside and makes a position number 10. Unless the Lexus is extremely aggressive, but it doesn't happen. And for now Soto stays behind, while the McLaren even more behind. Jabudal stays also behind, so no real overtake. The Porsche also stays behind Stewart. while Williams is now very close to the truck up ahead, to the car up ahead. And Hungary very close to the McLaren in front. Oh, there has been a contact back behind. It is again Gomez being hit by, I think it was Mark GG. You can see it was the McLaren missing the braking point completely and going just straight into the truck and hitting the Porsche 978. And at this point the race is kinda ruined for the Portuguese driver, while Zerman is in direct attack with the leader, the number 15. As Williams is already in the pit. I wonder if it's for a drive-through. It doesn't seem to be. I tend to see if it is for a drive-through. It's not, it's just for... It's for something, but I'm not entirely... Oh no, okay, I think it's a very early pit stop. More than anything. Because effectively the pit window is open. If I remember correctly. Maybe not, it opens from the 20. I'm not entirely sure why Williams went into the pits. The pits on, we have incorrect server settings. Okay, deck. Zolder is still fighting with the Ferrari. With the position, you can see the Ferrari stays behind, and Bro has to also defend from Jabudal in 12th place. Zerman made a terrible mistake because now the gap is 1.4 seconds. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but I don't see any 60 in my race control, so it wasn't a contact. Surely that wasn't a contact, but for now we go into the swing from the Lexus, and you can see a bit too much into the brakes. Oh, there is also a contact between him and Bro, and now Bro is in 10th place, Jawad is in 11th, and Hungary is going to be in 11th if the braking goes on. This doesn't appear to happen, and Zolder will be quite angry at the fact that the Ferrari is up ahead. Meanwhile, there is also Thompson and Karasanovic trying to switch positions. Bit of a wide entry for the Ferrari, and the Honda just was easily went easily through the chicane without any problem. Zerman is still losing time. I'm not entirely sure what is happening to Zerman after a great start in qualifying, at least. Now he seems to be having some trouble, so I guess he went wide somewhere, but I don't see any damage to the car. But the times are not promising. 35.0 was the last lap, so obviously a mistake. But I'm not really sure how it happened. Now there is also still Jabudal and Bro challenging for 10th place. Seems like this 10th place fight is going on quite a lot, as Zerman didn't score the fastest lap, but did Marzowski, as the McLaren completely destroyed the Ferrari. What was that? What was that, honestly? So, the McLaren clearly thought the Ferrari was going to the pits, and consequently destroyed him. With obviously some terrible rear end damage. And that's something that I just hate to see. Because as a driver you have to take responsibility for all the drivers around you. Both behind, but especially in front of you, and that was just reckless. I try to be as objective as possible, but this was just reckless driving. In pure and honest opinion, that was just reckless. I think that was the worst possible move that could have happened. Because here, obviously, you try to go as quick as possible into the pits, but you don't have to destroy your opponent to do so. And don't exactly know where the car number the car number 531 is now. Is in last, just in second to last. And again, that was just reckless, and I look forward for a huge penalty for just completely destroying an opponent for just not looking, because that was it. Apart for not being objective and this, but as a driver, I think that sometimes people have to be things have to be said. That's it. I will end it. Borsari goes 6 times away from Robstra. 44.8 was the last lap, while Robstra made a 35.0. And the gap to the car in front seems to get lower and lower. You can see from the interior cam. Bit on the grass on the outside for Borsari. He brakes exactly where I said to brake, and in fact he went just tiny bit wide, because you can't really brake the same way in the wet. Lots of drivers are going into the pits. For now, the pit counter is from Smith downward for the pitted drivers, with Smith that just made a very brief pit stop. So apparently there is a mandatory pit stop, but there are no rules about it. So Smith just went in for 8 seconds, and as of now, there is Hungary going out and kind of setting himself as a little bit of a wall between himself and the Ferrari. Doesn't seem to be like this, but Aston Martin behind also wants to make their position on a lap the Aston. For now, the 277 is still half a second behind. It is the closest battle we have currently. Ooh, the Ferrari is really slow towards this section. 44.8 in the last lap for Borsari. Robstra made a 35.3, half a second of difference between the two drivers. Little insight about Hungary. He did a drive-through. Okay, Hungary did a drive-through, he didn't stop. So I don't know if it was for track limit violations or for starting procedures, but there was a drive-through for Hungary, and that's why he made 2 pit stops. I didn't see it at the very early stages. Maggioli went from 14th to 8th for now. Very good race pace for the Italian driver in the 9 Audi. But there is also the fact that he is on an Audi, which is a bit of a deficit itself in terms of performances, because that car really doesn't want to play in the wet. There's Thompson getting very close to Krasanovic back again. The 55 went a second quicker than Krasanovic, so I suspect a mistake by 66 Honda, while we are staying with this little battle of their own. For the chicane they go, and there are just we are just getting into the midpoint of the race, the first race of the two that are going to be started and finished in this round, number 2. For now, the leaderboard gives the Aston in front of us the lead of the championship, but obviously race number 1 doesn't really count for anything. The real standings are to be seen at least after the 4th round. For now, this will be the second and the third race in the second round. As I mentioned last time, but for whoever wasn't there last time, the championship is composed. Sorry, as Thompson goes into the pits, is composed of both double headers like this one, or just single race evenings like last time. An hour race for Kyalami, and this time it's a double header, 30 minutes each. Usually the 30 minutes there are no pit stop, but apparently a little mistake happened, but nothing to worry about too much. And in the hour long it is mandatory pit stop that has to be done. Acelith is also in the pits. And the winner, oh, Robusta goes completely off into the chicane. And that's a position being done by Borsari without real trouble. So we can see back what happened from the helicam into Robusta's perspective. Apparently not really the best braking, and the Ferrari just went straight into the chicane, and the position has been lost consequentially by the Dutch driver, with the Italian now in the podium and chasing German up ahead. But as I said, there is also prizes for the winner of the championship, as Bro is now very much in close contention with GG. Apparently it doesn't happen for now. Never mind what I said, a little bit of... Okay, I'm lagging a bit. Okay, I lagged a bit for a second. Don't know why. I lost 120 FPS. Okay, I guess. But anyway, as I was saying, the price is an 80 euros gift code for the Acelith Simracing store, and for whoever joins into FRL, in the FRL Discord, there is another 3% discount in the in the Discord, so be sure to check it out. This is just for the Pro Yams, so this very series here that we are streaming live. But Pro is now in 12 as GG still had to pit, so at this point I think it is good enough to put the pit stop effectively, because it's just more helpful compared to the position, and apparently CCTV doesn't want to cooperate. Thank you a lot. So I will just go back to where I was. Every time. No, this one. Because apparently the pits are not working with CCTV. But Robusta is still very much in close proximity of his opponent in front. There is a second still. Oh, never mind, because Borsari went for a different racing line. Not sure how much convenient it was, but definitely it was. He didn't lose anything, apparently, compared to the usual. In fact, Robs is still a second behind. This is Jabutal very close to Thompson. Thompson that made a bit of an odd stop, because I think he switched for tires and fuel, while it wasn't mandated. It was just mandated to put fuel into the car, and thus Thompson made a 36-second speed stop. While the rules for this round only go for just a splash and dash is enough. So for now Smith is into the gravel. Oh no, that's wall. That's not the gravel, that's the wall. And I want to see why. Into the hairpin. The curb. The outside curb. Too much power on exit. And the wall is the next Aston's destination. So some major damage in the front of the car, while you saw the leader going full speed into the pit, while Zerman doesn't. He keeps going. Borsari too, and Rapstra even. I wonder if Ercolani will too. But for now, the former leader of the race went into the pits. That's on you. Anyway, anyway, Stewart is now effectively close to Woodward, setting personal bests. Stewart with a 36.6, while Woodward went with a 37.3. So Stewart seems to be getting closer to the Porsche up ahead. Pit stops have been made only by Mlaskowski apart, by whoever is in 10th place downward made a pit stop, and Mlaskowski in 5th place currently, going now out of the pits and then being just in front, well, just 4 seconds in front of Guerrini in the 707 Porsche in 6th place. There's also Miai very close to Sota. Front situation seems to be quite okay, but to drivers. Splitter come for us. Lexus just went out to the pits while Zerman went into the pits. Possibly to counter-attack the undercut, which doesn't really happen because there is not going to be a change of tires, but just a fuel splash and dash. So now your current provisional leader is the Italian in the 277 Aston Martin with Rob Strain 85, a second behind. Then Ercolani in 3rd place. The number 5 Aston Martin. Then there is, I think, still a battle there between Mihai and Sauter. So I'm quite curious to see Zerman going out of the pits, but Malaskowski is clearly up ahead. Zerman made a second slower pit stop, but seems like the pit entry was terrible, because now the gap is 6 seconds. While there is a side-by-side here between Guerrini and Woodward, with Guerrini making it. And from the outside, Woodward is trying to get the position done. Quite odd, because I think there's been a mistake. Because the gap wasn't that much earlier on. In fact, there is a mistake by Guerrini. I think a wide entry into... Oh, into the chicane he went! Bit by surprise. I'll be honest, I want to see it back. Woodward effectively breaks earlier and gives the Italian the chance to make it without further ado. And Guerrini is now back in 6th, with Woodward sitting in 7th and Stewart in 8th. Skarasanovic very close to Bro in 9th place. That still has to pit. So for now Malaskowski, Robstra, Zerman, and then whoever is in 10th downward has to pit. With 7 to go. Yes. Yes, it is mandatory. I'll be honest, it theoretically shouldn't. Theoretically shouldn't. But for this round it is mandatory. And it's no rule, it's just a splash and dash. Nothing too much to worry about. But usually no, it shouldn't be mandatory pit stop. Carson, which is now very close to Bro, that still didn't make the pit, so possibly the Honda driver will be quite angry and aggressive at the overtake chance, and in fact it happens just now, with the Ferrari now sticking behind. And so Krasnodar is now in 8th, but effectively he was in 8th, so not a real change of position. Meanwhile, Stewart is still very close to the car in front. And Bro is again with yellow flags for some reasons. Not too much to worry about though. while Mihai is effectively in very close proximity to the car up in front, which is Chris Zolder in the number 2 FRL car. Into the second chicane, and the Aston Martin is on the inside, it's trying the inside, but there is definitely not enough space to play with. And for now the Aston stays behind. Well, for now, obviously, because I think Aston Martin wants back to attack. Trying the cutback, but it definitely can't happen there because of a wet curb, while Brough goes into the pits. It's now the Aston Martin still behind. And there doesn't seem to be any chance. They like to try to get rid of the Aston behind, except going even quicker. Because the Aston really doesn't want to stay with the 11th position, while the current leader is going to the pits. Remember that Robsa was his direct opponent. Currently sitting in provisional 5th place. But I guess we can see a 4th by the end of the pit stage, at least because Ercolani still has to pit. And who knows, maybe even 3rd, because Borsari may be going out behind the Ferrari, so that's why we are staying with the Dutch driver. Currently in the last chicane. And going across the start-finish line. And Borsari is now exiting the pits. And Robsta still has to make turn number 1. So now it's from the helicam, you can see from the upper part of your screen, which is now the right part of your screen, there doesn't seem to be any Aston, it is indeed behind. So Robsta is back in front of Borsari. And the podium is going on for the Dutch driver with 3 minutes and a half to go. Nearly 2 seconds between Borsari and Robstra, with Borsari trying to destroy the gap that has been created in a way or another. But for now 2 seconds are a bit of a huge amount of position that have to be done. The opposition of seconds. I know that 2 seconds are effectively low, are an effective low number, but in terms of racing 2 seconds are a lot. You can see that two drivers may be different in terms of temps. Oh, Maratowski made a mistake somewhere. He did, but I don't think it's going to be a problem for Zolder is into the gravel. And I think there's been a contact between him and Mihai. It was indeed a contact between the Aston Martin and the Lexus, while there was also Guerrini going wide into, well, after the chicane. So double trouble. Zolder is back in 10th because Mihai gave back the position. Guerrini is now in 15th. Because he just lost the car by himself while Jabudal is trying the position. It was Smith and Jabudal going up ahead of the Italian in the 707. And the last 2 drivers are going into the pits. I wonder if Guerrini will try to make the position into the last chicane. Not possible for now. But the McLaren was clearly a bit too much greedy on the brakes. Maybe a chance can happen, but for now, no. A bit odd because Guerini's pace is not that bad. Oh, contact between him and Jabudal with the McLaren going completely out of track. You can see back what happened from Jabudal's wing. You can see the Aston Martin, the Porsche going on the inside, maybe too much on the brakes, and then putting the McLaren into the gravel.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
while Mihai and Zolder changes positions into the chicane. You can see back what happened. It was Mihai on the inside already, and Zolder couldn't really do anything out of it. I was waiting for the replay if there was a response by Zolder, but it doesn't seem to be any. Yes, Jeff, we understood it. You don't need to repeat it on my ears every single time. But for now, Maratowski is indeed very close to make it for the win. Come on. Okay, apparently it doesn't want to change. Okay, now it was. With the Ferrari there, which is, I think it was Thompson going a bit into the gravel. For now, there is also Zolder and Mihai still fighting for position, but it doesn't seem to be a change. Anyway, this is your leader. Fastest lap holder. Leader from the start to the finish after starting in second place. And I think it's going to be the BMW number 15 in the yellow and black livery to complete the round number 2, race number 1, Zolder GP. The BMW having the highest spot on the podium, with Zerman in second and Robstra in third just behind, with Borsari completing the race in fourth place after being in the podium for so much, and Karstanovic will go into top 5. There is also Hungary and Williams going for a fight on the second chicane. Williams will possibly stay in his position. Karstanovic went in 5th, Ercolani is going to cross the line in 6th, Silvestri is going to cross the line in 7th, unless he loses 11 seconds in a couple of meters. So the car has to explode to do so, but it's happened. Mihai is in 9th after a contact with Zolder. And then position number 8 goes indeed to the 17 Aston Martin, with number 2 Lexus in 9th place, Tiabuk in 10th place, with Woodward just behind. And there is Smith in 12th, Garini in 13th, Williams and Hungary still fighting for position on the line, and Hungary is going to be up ahead of Williams, with Stewart in front of Jabudal, and then Mark GG with Bro just crossing line behind. So this was your 22 driver finish line, with Gomez, Thompson and then Majoli in 22nd that have completed the race. Race number 1. And it was indeed a good race, to say the least, with a couple of incidents and some surprise pits that weren't really practiced by any driver, I suppose, for obvious reasons. But anyway, race number 2 is going to start just briefly, so don't go away. Best gainer of the race was Woodward, with 10 position being gained on his starting position. So 21st of 11th place for Woodward. That was my knee making a terrible noise. I hope it wasn't. I hope it wasn't heard in the microphone, but it's highly possible that you also had a crack, which was my knee, and apparently I'm becoming a Lego set for some reasons. But Malosowski, German, and Robstra are your race winner and podium placed. And in a couple of minutes, round number 2 will start. Well, race number 2 of the round number 2 will start with the same qualifying positions from race number 1. And I suppose we can see the pole sitter we tried to change the pressures or tried to change something, mainly because it was a very odd situation there, because in qualifying it was just flying, and then in the race it wasn't really the same, so I guess it was some setups, I won't say mistakes, but problems of some kind. And then the promises put German in second place. So again, Paul Sitter having some troubles during the race for a reason or another, and consequentially not really being able to win it. So a bit of a sad situation there, but I think in race number 2 we can see we could see the pole sitter.
Alright, conditions are wet. We have some slippery curves, and also watch out for your braking distance.
Yes, I know. I hate Jeff. I should deactivate it some way or another. Some there has to be a plugin to just remove Jeff. Sometimes. Sometimes I just hate him. But obviously it is useful for telling me that there are 3 cars on the outside. So race number 2 is going to start in 2 minutes and a half. And same conditions, same race, same drivers. 22 drivers still remaining into the lobby. So I think we can see some more action, considering that now the drivers are used to the conditions and to the race altogether. And as always, check out the sponsors that are on the bottom part of your screen, and thanks to all, most of this couldn't be done, even if 95% of whatever is done thanks to you all, because you are the reason why all of this is done, and thanks to obviously whoever is watching the races. And also, if you want to support the FRL channel, there is Patreon subscription and whatever you want to be a supporter in a way or another. You can help into the steward even if you want, and if you want you can also participate in the race. There is a lot of space for Tuesday in the British GT Championship, which I'll be in a odd French GT4, so you need to be with me and suffer in a French car. And there is also space for GT3, I think. That's on Tuesday. On Tuesday there is the rookies, and tomorrow evening there is going to be the Pinnacle with the Pursim Gear GT3. And obviously you can also check the QR code with Steam stuff, where you can look around and see all helpful tips and guides to make your own league or your own sim racing career. And then you can also check into the Discord, because Acelith Simracing, a sponsor of the rookie season, is going to is going to both give a 80 euros gift card to the winner of the championship and a 3% discount to whoever joins the Discord and utilize their discount code. And obviously I'm here, so I'm theoretically a sponsor. I don't know, my name is there, so I guess so. So I don't know, be sure to check me on Tuesday. I don't know how to express anything. Anyway, it's always fun to have myself as a commentator, mainly because I'm Italian. And I know it doesn't make any sense for an Italian to make a commentary in British. And I don't care. I think my Italian accent is going away. Slowly fading away. Which is not a bad thing, in my opinion. Like, I should have the British accent. Which I don't exactly know how it is. I know like how it is, but I can't make it. I think I have an American accent more than anything. Someone once said to me that I'm Dutch. Like where? Which part of me is Dutch? I really want to know. But I remember in the beginning my Italian accent was just predominant, and now I think it's fading away quite a lot. Which is my aim, theoretically. I should... Oh, there is a car into the wall! Oh, there is a car that has exploded. I saw a car going into the barrier. And then... I think there was just a lag spike by someone. Okay, no, that's Hungary having a bit of a trouble with his connection. Yes? Oh no. That's a big problem for the Italian. Absolutely no. Like, never. And Hungary is into Hogwarts Legacy. Apparently there is the crossover episode where Paolo Hungary is both in Assetto Corsa competition and in Hogwarts Legacy. And we will start going with maybe doing overtakes using Bombarda. Which I'm not exactly sure how legal it is. But I hope it gets better during the race, because otherwise there is trouble in the racetrack. But no, Chris, I absolutely don't speak English with anyone. Like, I'm doing commentary. I started doing commentary for having a better English. That was the aim when I started doing commentary. I was hating my English accent, effectively. And now I'm here. Yeah. For the joy of some and for the hate of others. But anyway, podcast apart, because the pre-race basically became a podcast by the end. All the cars are going to set themselves into the starting grid. Thanks, mate. But anyway, Borsari is starting with green light, and away we go. And I forgot to say it, but anyway, it's Malatowski with a very good start back again from the outside and gets the first position. Already with Borsari going a bit wide, nearly on the gravel, and Smith making the position number 4. With Borsari now has to defend, and behind there's a couple of drivers that are trying to switch positions. I'm not entirely sure who they were. I think it was Ercolani trying to switch position with Silvestri. Fight for the Italians, as the grid on the left is going sideways completely. Not entirely sure why. But anyway, for now it seems to be quite a calm start. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. I said it now. I don't want to regret to say it. No, it doesn't happen anything. There is a two-wide situation there with Sabuk and Majoli on the inside, and Majoli makes the position number 12. And apparently it's going to be quite clear for the rest, with Woodward taking a bit of a original racing line and cutting the chicane completely. There is Borsari side by side with Smith, and both drivers went wide. So now the Honda Karastanovic is going to put himself in 5th place, and why not even 4th with Borsari that really got to defend the inside, quite obviously. Now it's a challenge of whoever breaks later, and Smith goes straight into the pits already for a very early pit stop, utilizing the new rule, effectively by the best he can, so pitting straight forward early into the race to not get stuck behind the drivers. Possibly the best possible idea he could have gone with, while Zerman is now very close to the car. Oh, Guerini with yellow flags. Oh, Guerini is somewhere into the gravel, into the grass. You can see briefly what happened there. Was it for a mistake behind? Oh, there is no car behind. This was just the rear going not where the Italian wanted to go. Speaking of Italian, now Hungary. Oh, there is a car into the barrier completely. Oh, major crash behind. We can go back seeing it. Another contact with Majoli being spun into the chicane. Why did I say it was a smooth start? It's completely going sideways with the McLaren just sitting in the middle of the apex. And Stewart behind the Ferrari of Blow. We can see the contacts after, because they are being registered by the race control, luckily. It was the 531 being involved. So we can see exactly what happened by the 531. It was a contact with Woodward. going on the outside. There was just not enough space for both drivers, and the McLaren just went completely into the barrier, taking the Lexus number 2 with him. There was also contact between the 155 and the 9. You can see back from here, it was Majoli on the inside trying to get a position done, maybe too greedy, and the Aston just closed the door, while there was just no space for the Audi to make the position. So there is Stewart just behind the Gomez. Bit of a odd throttle progression for Stewart. Seems like he doesn't want to brake. I don't want to be hard, to be harsh. And that it seems like he kinda didn't want to brake. There. But anyway, Smith, remember that he was the one that pitted earlier than anyone else. I wonder if this time the pit will work. And the answer is absolutely no. I give up. We'll go back into position delta. So you will just have to trust me, because apparently this evening CCTV doesn't want to cooperate with me. And how many times why the cooperation isn't bivalent? But anyway, Zerman is now trying the outside with Borsari making the fastest lap, and Zerman, if I was in him, I would have pitted 2 laps ago. Just straight forward into the pits. Not even wait. Waiting is a way to lose positions. Simple as that. So Zerman is now very close to Malazowski, who is going quite slow in this stint, because his lap was at 35.5 and Borsari made a 34.7, fastest lap holder. So remember, Smith is effectively the first one that went into the pits. And Zolder is now trying the overtake on Woodward. Porsche stays on the right part of the screen, so the left part of the track, and keeps the inside, giving the Lexus a bit of a better entry. But the Lexus doesn't really utilize it at all. Seems to be wanting to go side by side to the chicane, which is just not possible, and the entry was just ruined for the Porsche. So it was quite an invitant chance for the Lexus driver that really didn't pick it up. Possibly he will do into the hairpin that is going to follow up. Okay, the Porsche stays on the inside. Defensive action by Woodward in 12th place. Provisional 12th place, as Malazowski is setting the fastest lap of the race, while Mihai went into the pits full speed. And seems like there is still a fight. Oh, contact between the drivers. Definitely not a way to make an overtake. And Zolder stays behind Woodward, not after making and exchanging the paint. And now the situation up in front is getting spicy, because you can clearly see the fact that the four cars are just one after the other, second, 2.2 and a second away from each other. Even if the Audi is clearly going a bit quicker sometime, I just can't understand why the qualifying was so good for... Oh, Jim Senior with yellow flags, huh? No? Okay, never mind. We just have left track. Anyway, Ercolani, there is a fight, so I will not go for a replay. Ercolani and Hungary, so teammates in action. So to try to check position number 6. If you look closely on the left part of your screen, you can see there are some battles going on. There is Zerman very close to Malazowski, even if... Okay, now the gap has been updated, 7 tenths, but there is now 5 tenths between the two drivers. second. Okay, this evening really doesn't seem to be a operational manner by the software. Teammate goes into the pits, Hungary goes straight. Maybe a bit much, I think he went a bit wide into the entry. And I just want to see where Germany is. The answer is close. Lap time speaking, it's a 44.4 by German, quite close to the fastest lap of the race, which was a 44.2, but apparently Maskowski is keeping pace, 34.6. Still a bit of a loss of some tenths, while Robstra fall apart in this last lap, 35.2, nearly a second off the Audi. And I think Zolder wants to make the position back on Woodward's defense line. Ugarini is back again, off. I saw it in the distance. Has there been a contact between Ugarini and Maggioli? No, I don't think so. It was indeed what I said at the start of the round, pre-race. You don't want to go to the curb, otherwise it's the wall. And the Italian found it out the hard way, going into the barrier, while Ercolani goes into the pits, full speed, bit of a better entry than his teammate. This leaves Silvestri with a choice to make. Is it better to go until the end, or to cover? Because at this point it's just too late, you can't go for cover like in 2 laps. It's either this lap or to the end for Italian. You can't go midway. Like, okay, now I will defend. It doesn't work like this. So we'll see the decision in the next, literally in the next minute. While the McLaren and the Porsche are one after the other. Well, one next to the other. Not even one after the other back again, but it's the McLaren this time in front. With Gomez just behind Gigi. And Borsari is effectively very close to Robstra. There is also Zolder again and Woodward again. And this time Zolder made the inside line. And I think the Porsche can't really make anything. And Woodward goes behind in 10th place. While German is now very close to the BMW. I wasn't really looking at them. I just briefly saw there was an overtaking opportunity for the Swedish driver, but it doesn't seem to happen for now. Maskowski stays in front. I think there was a mistake. Yes, it was a mistake by Maskowski. That's why German just went so quick. I think there was a mistake in the hairpin. Thank you, Alan, to literally destroying my name in a couple of words. Thank you. How many letters? Okay, you managed to get right a couple of letters, which is something. Anyway, Gomez. Bad job. How many letters are wrong in that name? Like, just the first one is correct. All the others are wrong, and the last one. Anyway. Just call me Christian next time. Anyway, Borsari behind Robstra. 7 times German fall completely after the initial fight. Literally fall apart in the last lap. In terms of sectors, seems to be a mistake in sector number. Can't really see anything. I have to wait for them to cross the line to see effectively where the mistake was. While Thompson is trying the Porsche, the overtake on the Aston, and it happens. And the 951 is now behind the 55. Ferrari. Maybe a response by the Aston Martin driver. Doesn't seem to be any. But in terms of where the problem was by German side, it was a terrible second sector. 4 times have been lost in just a second sector, so I suppose a mistake of some kind. While in the first sector, Borsari is flying in the first sector. In the last one, it's German is flying. In the second sector, Matsowski is flying, which goes completely against the Dutch, the Swedish, because his best sector, his worst sector, is the second one, and Matsowski's best sector is the second one. So it's not really the best. I would say puzzle piece for the Swedish driver, because you don't want your worst sector to be your opponent's best at all. And Silvestri did the move too late. He's now in 12th. Didn't cover on Hungary. Now 2 seconds in front. Did on Ercolani. I think there was a mistake in the pits. It was indeed a mistake in the pits. 12 seconds pit for Ercolani. While Hungary did a 6-second pits. And Thompson did a 17. So I'm not entirely sure what the problem was. I suppose too much fuel into the car. As the leader, you saw it, is now 1.7 seconds away from the second place driver, while Karasanovic is into the pits. And now it's the time to know whether Smith's idea was the best, or if it wasn't enough. Because it was indeed the best, trust me. It was the best idea you could have had. Like 100%. Full, all in. It was just the best possible idea. And as I said, the gap was 1.7. Germany is now half a second. Why do I have to speak? Every time I say something, the opposite happens. Karasanovic is now in 10th place. And maybe 11th, as Mihai goes from the outside and makes the position number 10. And Karasanovic has to stay behind. And Mihai made the pit. Karasanovic made a 15-second pit, so possibly some mistakes around there. But now German is very close to the front of the field. Not only the front of the field, the front of the everything. There's also Borsari, you can see from the distance, very close to Robstra. It's a double-way fight for position. Robstra on the inside, Borsari on the outside. Seems like Borsari has the better line because it's just drier. Robstra was on the inside just enough to keep the position number 3. As GG went into the pit. So for now I'll stay here because apparently the position change may happen here. A bit too much on the gravel, but luckily not on the curb only. As Guerini is still with yellow flags around the track, but we'll stay here. Depending on the hairpin. Some troubles for Guerini on that yellow dot on the hairpin. Now Germany is effectively... He is making progresses. Not constantly. Which is something that doesn't come easily. These are all rookie drivers. Experience will come out. And usually you are fast maybe straight away, but you are not consistently fast. Which is something that you have to you can't learn from others. You can't have someone saying to you how to be consistent. You just have to practice. There isn't a coach saying, you have to make this to be consistent. No. To be consistent, you just have to feel the car. And I took ages to become consistent, I'll be honest. But once you become consistent, it's something so good. And then you want to become fast. Because you understand that what you were is not fast. It's just straight up not enough. And then you also want to be more consistent and more fast and more consistent and more fast and more consistent and more fast and more... Until you reach the burnout. No! Until you reach a point where you are finally happy, so never. Because you will never be happy enough. For now, the rookie is here. Zerman and Malaskowski are giving a very nice fight compared to what happened last week, where Zerman was just straight up flying away and destroying the field. I didn't said anything about Smith's idea at the end because I was distracted. As it's not exactly the breaking news of our era. Acelith is now 3 seconds in front of Hungary in 5th place. And not any single position has been gained. But Obro is yellow flags. Obro is not really in the racing line, and the barrier also have encountered him. What happened to him? Oh, too much on the outside. Collecting into the grass. Kept the throttle on, which is something you can't do when you're about to lose the car. Bounced onto the transition from grass to tarmac, and then went full speed into the wall. So I think it Brooks' race is done for the day. Still, the battle between Woodward and Zolder is going on, but also now there is Stewart and Gomez joining the fight. I think I want to go here a bit, because Luca Borsari is the 277 effectively in very close proximity to Robstra in 3rd place. There is also the leader and 2nd place driver. They still have to make a pit stop, and there is 10 minutes to go. Oh, there is a Ferrari in the middle. Oh, there is a Ferrari going completely off. Okay, he's getting worse and worse, and contact with Luca Borsari. Honestly, I just want to see back what happened, because apparently the Ferrari went back into the racing line, maybe definitely hit Robstra, went full into the barrier, went again into the barrier, and hit Borsari. And I know who that was. And again, I can't understand this pit entry this evening. I really can't understand how hard it is to maintain a normal behavior in this pit entry. Just I don't know. I hope, honestly hope, because again, everything doesn't make any sense in the pit entry tonight. In the second incident in 2 races. But anyway, I know I'm getting angry every time. Sorry. Apologies for losing my personal stability. It's just that some things are just a bit too much to if you had technical issues, okay. Only if you had technical issues. I think the leader went. Okay, I saw it correctly. The leader went into the pits. Pit limiter on. 50 kilometers per hour. Or 35 miles per hour. Should be. More or less. Should be 35. Krasanovic and Mihai in the fight for 7th place. Everyone, Borsari and underneath, and now Malatkowski, went into the pits already. And this just leaves Zerman and Robstra waiting for the pit to happen. Even if I think Zerman will either stay in front or go in second with Honda very close to the Mihai Okay, it was very close between Karasanovic and Mihai. How many centimeters were there? 3? 4? I think I guess 5 at best. Karasanovic stays behind Mihai, that stays behind Hungary, that stays 5 seconds behind Smith. And with 6 minutes to go, there is Mihai going a bit wide. And this leaves Karasanovic very close to make an overtake. And I think it happens. There is a yellow flag there. There is Guerini again. Not really having any good luck in the chicane. Just before the chicane. The second to last. While Karasanovic made the overtake for 7th position on the inside. A weighted move, but that worked. Meanwhile, just behind is Woodward making a position on Zolder back. This fight is going on since the start of the race, basically. You can see the Porsche going back into the racing line and then faking it because he went for an overtake on the very last moment. And covered perfectly the every attack opportunity that Zolder was engaging. And now Woodward is back in 14th place. And now the real fight is between German and Malaskowski. Unless... okay, Malaskowski made a second shorter. A second shorter pit stop with 8 seconds, while German went with 9. And I don't think... and again, seems like German is a bit cautionary on entry. 3 seconds is now the gap. 3.5. 2 seconds have been lost. Maybe 3 even. Because of the pit entry. Because that's the only thing that changes. Because the timing in the pits is basically the same. So Thompson is now very close to Silvestri, up in front. There's also Mihai trying to stay behind Karasanovic. And now the real fight is between these two drivers, Ferrari and McLaren, for top 10, while Robsa is going into the pits. Possibly to jump out in 4th place, I guess. I guess 3rd at least. Either 3rd or 4th, it's not really much choice. The Ferrari went a bit too much wide. Oh, entry completely ruined, and exit 2, and he went sideways. And McLaren is now in 10th, with a Ferrari that has to be quick on the throttle, maybe too much quick. And also, position number 11 and 12 are off, and again, Thompson, please, don't go too much on the throttle. Now 13th place for the British driver, everything went into flames for his actions. Too much quick on entry, and too much quick on everything that was after. And now, he finds himself in 13th, while Robstra is just in 3rd. A second, 0.1. In front of Borsari. 8 tenths away. While Tiabuk and Gigi are side by side over the start finish. With the Aston staying in front. And the McLaren braking very early. It was a very odd entry, to say the least. Nice exit nevertheless. I'm a bit sorry if my voice is disappearing. But I think I have to take one of those. And the McLaren is glued, well, a bit too much. I think there was a contact between Tiabuk and the McLaren behind. We can see if there was. And the answer is yes. No, it wasn't. Or maybe yes, but it was like the lightest touch that has ever happened in existence. Tiabuk is still defending as much as possible against GG behind? No, I don't need water. It's getting a meme at this point. Think about when I will do the 24 hours of World Kings Clan. That will be fun to watch and to hear. Yeah. Anyway, I'm quite undecided who to go with. I think I will stay here. And Woodward? Oh boy. And Woodward? Why? Drive through. That's why. Drive through for exceeding track limits. For the 999. Now from 14th, in 17th, and at least in, I think, 19th place. I will never drink water in the 24 hours. I will do 24 hours without drinking. I will die on the place. That will be my last action, doing commentary on the 24 hours. But anyway, I will take one of those. This thingy here. I need it.
Leader's on final lap now.
The leader compresses for the throat. Because it's a whole morning that my throat is effectively burning. Like I woke up and I was already tired of existing. Anyway, I hope it's not fever. Not again, at least. I have too many things to do. For now, Borsari, last lap, so last chance for the Italian to make it into the podium. I really hope it happens. Mostly because it would give the championship fight a bit of well, a lot of sparkle. Because Borsari in Zerma will be just a point gapped. And Borsari makes it from the outside. Oh, I think that was a move. Oh, that was a beautiful move. An incredible one from the outside on the chicane, and then over the chicane, and they are still side by side in the second chicane, but this time Borsari has the position in his hands. Very nice position that I want to see back. Can I see it back? Oh, not too. It was definitely too much. Yes, too much. I don't have time to check because the leader is getting into the finish line to do the unplane again. Fastest lap holder and first from start to finish. And for the second time, Malaskowski is going to end the race in P1. It's not a Grand Slam because Paul Sitter is second again. And Borsari with a phenomenal overtake in the very last moment on the chicane makes Robstra the fourth place driver. Contributing to drivers. And Smith with a perfect strategy in fifth. Then Hungary in sixth. And behind this Karasanovic protecting. Oh, what happened there? And Karasanovic is in eighth. What? What has happened? Yes. I have questions. Oh, there's been another incident. There's been another incident between Gomez and Zolder. Not really sure why. There has been a contact between the two drivers. And Zolder is in 15th with Gomez in 16th. There's been a contact, we can see here in the hairpin it was. Oh, it was Director sitting on the apex and basically giving Stewart the 13th place. But it was very odd between Mihai and Karasanovic because Mihai is now in 7th and Karasanovic is in 8th. I'm not entirely sure why it happened. And Majori has a 30 seconds penalty pit stop, I suppose, for track limits violations. So, the best race for the Italian there. Now in 19th position with Guerrini in 20th place. And the leader both times. So, I guess now maybe I have the chance Tuck and tuck. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So we should have our interviews with one of the two at least. And we have, let me see if it works, because I'm not entirely sure it works. Let me see. Hi, Ilke.
Hi.
Okay, it works,
Yes.
which is something I'm completely surprised about. Welcome in
Really?
the interview channel, and well, 2 out of 2 that it doesn't go exactly your way, but you are. I
Yeah.
think you are leading the championship.
I think so. Yeah. Probably. I haven't checked, but yeah.
How was the race tonight?
Well, it was good. It was a lot of fun. I really liked the rain. It was very tricky. The start. I mean, like, I couldn't really do much on the inside. I didn't want to run wide, so I kind of just backed off both times. For the first race, I have no idea what happened in the start because I had like no drive. Maybe I missed the start or whatever. It doesn't matter. He was really quick though. But if I felt more comfortable doing the second one, and we kind of traded lap times a bit. Not the fastest ones, but like he drove away and I caught up. And I was like, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, because I noticed that in the qualifying you were just flying away, and in the race you were, I won't say struggling, more like he was on par with you. The only real difference was turn one at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And then so you know the big chicane on the backside of the track, and then there's two right like right-hand corners that are honestly together. The second one, I have no idea what he did there, but he was so quick. I could not keep up.
So, by the way, yeah, nice double header, because you are now the leader of the championship effectively.
Green light. Go,
Yeah.
go.
And well, what about the next one? Already have some plans on how can it go? Considering you have an Audi tonight, I think you made whatever was possible, because the Audi on wet is just terrible.
Yeah. I haven't even checked what the next race is, so I have no idea.
Let me check quickly. I think it is. Oh no, it's Sultan Park. Okay, you are dead.
Ah,
You are not going to have a win even there.
maybe, who knows? I didn't really have any practice for this one, so I'm gonna
No,
try to practice
no.
a bit
I'm just joking, because the Audi in Alton Park, I think it's. Oh god, I remember
Really?
driving it.
Okay.
No.
I'll do my best.
No, the problem is that the Audi's dampers are just don't work on Alton Park. But there is a little tricky way to make it, and just send it. Honestly, send it completely.
Just send it every lap, every corner.
Well, until you get second place again, it will be,
Yeah.
I think, enough for holding the lead.
Oh, really?
I think so, because I'm going by. Well, it depends, obviously, because it depends on who is in front. But
Yeah,
I really hope you win it, because you deserve it. It's 3 races
Thank
that
you.
you came second, and you deserve a win at least for one of the 3 races, at least one.
Yeah, at least one, right?
But yeah, good luck on the next round.
Thank you.
And now there is our very late podium arrival, which is Luca Borsari, that made a very astonishing overtake on the outside in at the very last I can't speak at the very last lap. But anyway, penso che devi parlare in italiano, vero?
Sì.
Okay, wait a second. Okay, so Luca effectively can't has to rely on me for the translation. So go ahead and say
Sorry.
whatever you want about the race. Ok, so vai, di come è andata la gara.
Ciao a tutti, buonasera. Niente, che sudata ragazzi, mamma mia, è tosta questo qua. Zolder con la pioggia è un incubo. No, pazienza, mi sono messo lì buono, tranquillo e poi come speravo che finiva la gara il prima possibile.
Ok.
Perché ogni curva puoi sbagliare, è un disastro, sorpassare è impossibile, quindi bravi quelli davanti e mi sono messo lì pian pianino e poi è finita così, è andata bene, dai.
Okay, so he says that it was a nightmare after with all the rain, and he was just hoping it was ending as soon as possible. And then it went well because effectively a podium is definitely something that uh, to cheer about. And uh, well, that's it. That's honestly it. Qualcosa su Holton Park? Sulla prossima gara? Come pensi che possa andare?
Holton Park anche quella è peggio che questa, quindi
Ok.
è bruttissimo Holton Park e tra l'altro la conosco poco, quindi mi dovrò allenare piuttosto bene e poi anche lì secondo me sarà una gara di attesa, qualifica importantissima e niente, poi speriamo che vada bene con pochi errori e via.
So he says that Alto Park is a terrible track, even more than Zolder, and just that he never really went on a real race. Well, he went rarely on a race on Alton Park, so it will be a very hard layout to get used to, and he just hopes that it goes as smoothly as these couple of rounds. Quindi sì, grazie per essere passato di qua.
Ok,
Bel podio, bel sorpasso all'ultimo, mi è piaciuto.
grazie mille. Ciao a tutti, ciao,
Ciao.
grazie. Ciao.
So it was it for the interviews, which is something that I especially hoped that would have happened in the first round, and this time it happened completely. So for the next round, I think we will have some other interviewed drivers, and especially tomorrow, which I hope it goes well. So anyway, for tonight it is all. I hope you all had a pretty pleasant evening. And for whoever racing with me later, good luck. And for whoever is going to be with me tomorrow night, either on track or on Twitch, I hope you will all have a beautiful evening. But for tonight, this is it. I'm Cristian Romano, and see you all next time. Bye!